Have you no time to walk a dog? Do you think birds are part of the government and that cats are the devil? Fish too boring and a turtle too burdensome? No worries. We have a pet just for you, my hardworking friend. Worm. Get yours today. Worms are not always bait. They make fantastic pets. The wormier, the squirmier, the better. There are so many friends to choose from, all wriggling and ready to shimmy on home with you for just a small price. Some worms you could choose from are the playful breed, a red worm. They come above the ground to meet you after a long day. You will not be disappointed in its energy and capabilities. Another worm that people love are the earthworms. They are more commonly known since they are well loved for their burrowing. Just look for that wide, fleshy collar. They're on the shyer side. They prefer to dig great holes and be away from the surface. If you want a pet worm that is easy to care for and has good payout, choose the earthworm to be your new friend. Worm fact: did you know that worms can be considered livestock?
Wow.
Another tip is you need to be ready to neuter your pet. Worms breed very fast. You can't leave too many eggs sitting around, or you may have too many. Tip: some worms are hermaphrodites, which means they are both boys and girls and can create eggs all by themselves. Each worm comes with their own worm care kit, which will be expanded on later in this information-packed video. Get yours today.
Now that you have some basics about worms, I will teach you how to care and maintenance for them. When taking care of a worm, there are 3 key components. There is the soil, the feed, and the temperature. When we talk about feed, we want to make sure you're feeding your pet worm what they need in order for them to thrive. You could feed them basic things like dead plants, fallen leaves, bacteria and fungi, and even compost such as fruits, vegetables like a banana peel or something like that. When it comes to temperature, make sure the temperature is about 50 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and you want to keep them away from the sun and make sure it is not too cold because they will freeze or dry up. And when it rains, they do tend to pop out of the soil, which is normal. Just make sure they don't escape. And when it comes to soil is very important to worms. Make sure that the soil is not too moist or not too wet or too damp. I guess we want it to be moist actually. We don't want it to be dry or too wet. If a worm is kept happy, they will keep your soil kept happy as well.
Buy a worm now, a deal out of this world, sold for the low price of $9.99. What comes included with this purchase is benefits, nutrients, and products. An example of benefits is the castings of red worms containing a high percentage of humus that helps soil particles form into clusters, which create a channel and improve the soil capacity to hold water. Another is worm castings have a great amount of microbial activity, beneficial microorganisms in the soil, and other organic matter. An example for nutrients is nutrient content of vermicomposting vary in what the earthworms are fed, but feeding them waste still causes nitrogen mineralization, phosphorus mineralization, and sulfur mineralization after egestation. And another one is vermicomposting contains a variety of nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphate, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sodium, zinc, copper, iron, manganese, and organic carbon. Products of vermicomposting, the most apparent one of the products is worms called red wrigglers. Vermicompost, also often known as worm casting or worm feces, is the solid material left after the worms have digested and excreted all organic matter in a compost pile. Another product is the liquid that drips out of the worm bin or bed that is rich in nutrients is called vermicompost tea. And it is called vermicompost tea because it's a reddish brown color. For products, they can be targeted to a desired product. If your goal is to produce useful products from waste, is done with the help of primary or secondary vermicompost practices. The goal is to make more vermicomposty as possible. You can add more water than is needed to maintain moisture, but risk making the vermicomposting tea weaker by adding more water. You get all of this included with just the price of $9.99. You get hardworking, squirming, wiggly, wormy pets, which is a deal of a lifetime. So why wouldn't you want to buy and own one of our hardworking, wiggly, wormy pets? It is a deal that comes full of more than just owning a worm, and for a down price of $9.99, which is a steal.